Hello everybody and welcome back. And today what we're gonna talk about is very important topic when it comes about scripting. And what it is basically the difference between the script file, script record, and script deployment. And those are the three different types of script terminology that you need to understand when it comes to scripting. When you start putting your script into NetSuite and you want to see it work, you will need to do all three of them in order for you to execute scripts successfully in NetSuite. So we will talk about each individual one, and we're going to talk about why do we need all three and what do them do. So let's go back to my drawing here. So this is basically the summary of what each of them do, and we will go a little bit into details in a second, but this is you can take a screenshot of there or whatever. This is for your quick reference. So let me get out of here and go into a browser where we're gonna basically walk through each individual one. So let's say you created a script file and it's .js and you are uploading that into NetSuite. So if you have your connection set up through IDE, this will be as simple and easy. But that's still basically, if you do it manually, you will have to go and set it up. So what this does first is what we're gonna do is we're gonna upload the JScript file into NetSuite, and this will create a file inside of your document file structure. So the location, the folder, and this is what basically this is gonna come in. So this is gonna be responsible for where it's gonna be in your documents inside of NetSuite. Then availability, is this going to be available without login? There are different types of options you can set it up. Once you upload and save, this will give you URL, which you can then use it to point to this particular file. And also there are website publishing options that you can do, which we will not cover in this video. So once your file is inside of NetSuite, what you then have to do is you create a record. And as you all know, NetSuite, everything inside of NetSuite is basically a record type, and everything is kind of around record. And so JavaScript is not exception to that. So what you will see is you create a record that will point to that particular JavaScript file that you have created, that you have uploaded. And in this record, so what you're gonna do is once you upload and point to it, it will pick it up and understand what kind of type that is. So meaning, is it gonna be a user event script? Is it gonna be a MapReduce? What type, what version? Is it 1.0, is it 2.0, or whatever that is? Functions, any functions that your JavaScript file has, it will pick it up and let you see it, and you can kind of manipulate and checkbox and what you want to do, and what it's going to tell you exactly what functions your script has. Next it's going to do is logs. We will talk about why it's underlined like that. And so you're gonna see the logs. For if you have any script that runs with your log file, with your logs, this is where you're gonna see it on a record level. And your parameters. These are the hard-coded records that you can create and your JavaScript file can access. This is a little bit more advanced topic. We will not talk about that right now. Then after you create a record, and now this is basically registration of your file. And now it's not even done yet. So this is kind of just a registration for your file, which gives you then permission to use it. So at this point, it hasn't been used yet at all. And then after that, you create a deployment. And deployment will also point to your record, and the record points to your JavaScript. So you have that flow from top to bottom, or from bottom to top, whichever you want to think about it. But what deployment does, this is a door opening to your record. And this is what deployment does. And basically what deployment is, it opens the door, and you can control, and during deployment is who is your audience, during which access, who you're giving access to trigger the script. It can be administrators, it can be managers, it can be your customer service class, or anything that you want. So this is where you put who will be executing this script, what it applies to. So this is the record type that you're applying to. So what kind of a record? Is it going to be to employee record? Is it going to be to a cash sale? Is this going to be to an event type, which is the next one? An event type is basically what event it's going to be triggered during. Is it going to be during create? Is it going to be during delete? Or is it going to be during edit or view? And there are different types as well. Next one here, you can see a status. Is this during testing? You can justify and say, hey, this is only for testing right now, and then you can switch it to deployment, and you can put it live. And then the log level. And the log level, basically what it's gonna do is it's gonna tell which logs do you want to record on the record. And so now, basically, you can understand this, why NetSuite requires these three types to do. And it's because NetSuite likes to be in control and manipulate the data and have a record type that is controls through your data level. And so that's why deployment is created. The tricky part of that to understand is that you can have multiple deployments for each record. And so this is another thing that I quickly want to talk about. I'm not going to go into details, but let me just move this over here and create. So let me just say that you have a JavaScript file and your record that you created. Now you deploy this on a customer record. And you did everything for a customer. Now you want also this to be an employee record as well. Well, you can't really do from the same deployment. You will have to create another deployment. And so basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have two deployments that will point out to the same record. And this is why it's gonna give you that control of how many doors you are opening and what entry points do you have for each individual deployment. So that's kind of how NetSuite splits it up uniquely from what I previously experienced in different applications. You can also, which is going to be even more confusing, that I didn't really want to do that, but you can, is what you have here is you can actually have multiple records as well for each JavaScript file, and that's kind of even more confusing, and each record will have different deployments as well. And the reason why you can do that, and the reason why NetSuite allows you to do so, is because there's different log and parameters that you can then use to apply. So that's why that's a little bit underlined, and there's differences, there's more differences to that as well, but these are just the top level for you to understand. So you can, once you create a different record and then you, let's say, create this for a cash sale and for invoice, while the first record in deployments are on your custom records or whatever it is. And so when you look at these logs, you will not see the logs triggered from this first deployments. You will only see the logs triggered for this type and the parameters as well. And you can control which functions you want to trigger and what you want to do. If they will still both point to the same JavaScript file. Okay, and so one thing that you can do is when you want to see the deployments and you want to see the JavaScript files, you access record. And from the record type, I'm going to just draw this quickly over here. From the record type, when you go into the record, you will be able to see JavaScript file that it's sitting on, and you will also see the deployments that you deployed this record on. So when you want to see the details or anything, get to the record and you'll be able to then see everything around it. You will see the logs, you will see the triggering points and everything that you need to know about your JavaScript projects or whatever you did this customization for. So this is kind of just a general overview, and hopefully that you guys can understand this a little bit better And hopefully I didn't make anything more confusing, or let me know if in the comments if you guys have any issues understanding this, or if you need more clarification on any of this. And if you have anything else or any suggestions for my videos, just let me know. And you guys enjoy your time, and I will see you next time. Keep on sweating.